Hello everybody, Michael here. We are doing some more MTGO. I thought I'd do this quick little game for you guys, just something for the weekend. And just to break up the series I'm doing on deck building, and I hopefully you guys saw the first episode of that. The next two episodes will be out this week, and hopefully you guys enjoy those as well and take something from them. But anyways, this game, I apologize. I know a lot of you guys want me to do more live commentary, and I'm going to be doing more live commentary. It's just that when I recorded this match, the recording software did not record any of my voice for some reason, and therefore I do have to result in this one actually being post-commentary. Apologies for that, but I do want to do more live commentary for sure, mostly for the fact, anyways, MTGO just has a terrible recording software, and they don't, for some reason it only records certain games, and it's usually the ones where I lose for some reason. I don't know. MTGO is just MTGO, right? So let us get on with it. This game was sort of odd, but you'll see what I mean. We are going to be on the play first. We are going to be on the top part of the screen, so you can see our hand will be coming up right here, and we will pause that for you. So we are going to be on the play. We have a great first hand. So we started with 2 lands, and 2 lands is fine in our deck. We're perfectly capable of starting with a 2-lander as long as we have a first and a second turn. So I could have played Kekler first. I opted for getting Gyro Sage out there because I saw a nice evolution progress in our deck, and hopefully we pull into those things. But either way, I wanted to get a little bit more information, and I sort of like doing that. I know my deck is supposed to be aggressive, but I can sort of reach into that mid to late game with some of my cards, so I don't feel like I always need to be gung-ho, which is sort of what usually aggro decks are, and I would be fine with opting out of 2 damage for my Cackler early on to get Gyro Sage to a 2/3 as well as get some more mana, because just in the off chance I did not pull a land, I would be able to use Gyro Sage to play my Deadbridge Goliath anyways, which is definitely what I wanted to on turn 4. So even though this is post commentary, I will hopefully try and give you guys my thought process through these things, because I am recording it right after I played the game, so hopefully things are still fresh in my memory. So he plays a Temple of Mystery, so he, from here it's either Simic or it could be something else, but he scries, which is fine for me as long as he doesn't have a turn 1 play. I always enjoy not seeing a turn 1 play from him. And then we pull a Gruul Charm, which will definitely help, and if he does play a land-based deck, we can just swing through his blockers or take out some of his flyers if he has some low-costing ones. So we play our Gyro Sage, pass the turn. He plays an island, and then a Sylvan Caryatid. So I don't really know what this deck is at this point. It sort of eludes me. I don't really know many decks like this. There was a Star City Games match that I just watched that had this kind of stuff in it, but it was an extremely odd deck and very, I have not seen many decks that look like this. So he plays a Sylvan Caryatid, passes the turn, so he is going to have a blocker for the rest of my guys, but it's okay. I'm going to be ramping up into my Deadbridge Goliath. So right here, what I thought was, I'm not going to just use the Cackler to evolve my Gyro Sage. I have my Burning Tree, which I can transfer into a Splatter Thug. I don't have a 3rd land, but I can use Burning Tree to evolve Gyro Sage, giving him +1/+1 counter, and then use that +1/+1 counter as well as the extra 2 mana added from Burning Tree to play my Splatter Thug, which I can unleash it and then get another evolve trigger off of Gyro Sage. That is why I played it like this. Because now that I see he's playing Sylvan Caryatid, I noticed that he probably is going to be playing sort of a slower deck. And so I wanted to start getting more threats out there rather than just playing one Rakdos Cackler and evolving my Gyro Sage just once. So now I have a 3/4 Gyro Sage and I have a 3/3 First Striker. He taps 3 of his land to play a Gruul Keyrune. So here especially, I have no idea what this guy is playing. But I am especially not worried at all about Gruul Keyrune. If he does decide to use it as a blocker, Splatter Thug can kill it. I'm fine with trading Burning Tree to take out one of his land sources, and he just can't do anything about Gyro Sage either. So at this point, Gyro Sage can kill Sylvan Caryatid as well. Oop, got a Steam message there. So we're going to attack with everything. Well, not everything. I leave Gyro Sage back because he has 2 counters on it now, so I can play Dedge Bridge Goliath this turn. He is at Charms my Burning Tree, but I'm fine. I still get 3 damage in, and we are still on the aggression. So we tap our lands, and we play our Dedge Bridge Goliath, which is definitely a huge threat he has to deal with. So he plays a Nykthos then, and I still don't know what this guy's playing. Again, this deck is similar to the deck that was played at the Star City Games just this weekend by Eric Williams, who had very interesting choices. He would actually include stuff like Garruk as well, and Nykthos to build up Devotion, as well as building up to a Sylvan Primordial, which is definitely what I thought this deck was playing towards, because this deck was very, very similar, other than the Gruul Keyrune, to what Eric Williams was playing. So I was definitely worried about a Sylvan Primordial, but my deck is very aggressive, as you can see, and as long as I can kill him before then, it's fine. So he plays a Stormbreath Dragon. Here, I'm perfectly fine with that. I have to Dedge Bridge Goliath, and I could use the blood to sort of burn straight to his face, but I opted just to sort of play it safe, just in case he had something to take the rest of my damage out on Dead Bridge. I didn't want to lose my Dead Bridge to anything. He is going to leave it back. He is tapped out, so I don't really know why. I should have just attacked with everything, but I wanted to keep all my guys on the board, and he could block Splatter Thug and kill it. I want to keep as much damage on the board as I can, and I still am on the aggression, and he's still behind on the board state. So I just wanted to play blood, use the Dedge Bridge Goliath, get rid of his Stormbreath Dragon, and swing in for full damage, which is 12 damage. So he goes down to 3, and then he concedes the following turn because he has no answers for what my threats are on the board. So as you can see, very, very awesome. This is what I love about this deck, is that it has the possibility of playing a lot of threats through Burning Tree, things like that, but it also has the aggressiveness to evolve into big threats. So by turn 5, I have a 4/5 Gyro Sage, which can use as a ramp or just a swing as a 4/5, and got a 3/3 First Striker, and I can play it, and I have a 5/5 Dead Bridge. So very, very awesome. And even if Dead Bridge died, what's really cool is I have enough mana through Gyro Sage to actually scavenge onto Splatter Thug, making him an 8/8 First Strike, on turn 6. So even if he did have an answer to send it to the graveyard, it's just one of the really cool things about this deck. Lots of different ways you can attack, and just lots of ways you can be very aggressive. So moving into the sideboard, I saw not really much of anything, so I didn't really know how to sideboard against this match. I saw some Is It Charms and stuff like that, so I know he does have target removal. So I decided to bring in a couple of Ranger's Gals just for that spot protection, to protect things like my buffed up Gyro Sage or my Dead Bridge Goliath. And then also possibly, I think I brought in can't remember what else I brought in. I swapped out the Gruul Charms because I didn't think I needed them, because I felt I could build more threats, and I didn't feel like it'd be too useful in this matchup. I think what I brought in was some burn, just to go straight to the face if I need to, I think. So we're going to be on the draw this time, but we do have a really, really cool starting hand as well this time around, and a lot of fun things you can do with this. So we started out with a Gruul Guildgate and Forest. It's going to be a little bit slower of our hand, sadly, but luckily he does play a Guildgate first, and we don't have to worry about it. We get our Guildgate out of the way, and we got one of our first key cards, our Gorklan Rampager, which is awesome. So he plays another in-tap land, which means he doesn't really have anything to play and has no responses. So I'm perfectly fine with just going Burning Tree into Gyro Sage. Now, I could have opted to just hold off a turn, play my Gyro Sage, and then evolve it with Burning Tree. And I opted out of that. Mainly because I just sort of wanted to get everything out there on the board faster. I know he is playing a slower deck at this point, so I just sort of wanted to get my threats out there a turn faster and, swing in with them. Because otherwise, if I was, I could have just played Gyro Sage and then Burning Tree into Renegade Krasis. But I just thought this would be a little bit of a better route, just to at least get some early damage in there. So we are going to Burning Tree into Gyro Sage, which is definitely what these Burning Trees are for, just to tie into those things. And this is another reason why I like running Burning Trees in this deck, is because even on the draw, we can catch up by training things to at least get more threats out on the board. So that's why I like running those. So he's just going to burn the Gyro Stage. He knew how impactful it was last game, so he decided to get rid of that right away. It's okay. We still he does that on his main phase, so we can still just swing out for full damage and get in 4, which is very, very nice. So here I was thinking of possibly just Gore Clan rampaging because we had 2 of them. So I thought maybe getting in 8 damage would be nice. I figured, we're still on the aggression. We're still on the aggression. Swinging for 4 is definitely still a nice chunk, and I want to open myself up for possibly playing Renegade and then playing a Gore Clan Rampager to evolve Renegade by itself. So we get our Renegade Krasis out there, and here he plays a Sylvan Caryatid. So here I'm perfectly fine with using a Gore Clan Rampager Blood Rush now rather than just playing it. I don't think we hit our land drop. Yeah, we don't hit our land drop, so I'm like, okay, let's just get the aggression on even further. So I decided to swing in with everything. I tapped in for Experiment 1, but I realized, there's no point in playing him. So, because he's not going to do anything. So I am going to just swing with everything. I know he's probably going to block, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Kill off his Ramper as well as just trample over for some damage. I love Gore Clan Rampager. So awesome. So much damage. So much fun. And so all he has is Steam Vents now, so I'm sure he's missing out on some of the land he needs. He plays a Scavenging Ooze, which he has no other green mana to actually exile anything, so he can't gain life back. So from here, it's just a matter of killing everything. So I could have played Sylvan Caryatid pre-combat to evolve my Renegade Krasis and Experiment 1, but I opted out for just swinging in with everything and using my Gore Clan Rampager to attack with, because that would be lethal. So he blocks Experiment 1. I have no idea why he blocked Experiment 1. I think, I don't really know, because that was probably the only thing he could kill with still keeping his guy up. But he leaves everything else open, so I just go a Clan Rampager for the win. So that is a very, very quick game for you guys to see, just something, quick little video for the weekend. And I definitely hope you guys enjoyed watching this. As you can see, my deck is much more consistent with the new version. Hopefully you guys have watched the new version of the deck tech for this, compared to the one that was featured on Rogue Deck Builder's channel. So this deck, as you can see, is much more consistent, much faster, and much more aggressive, which is definitely what I love. And that was the one main problem I saw with my first iteration of this deck, was the inconsistency that I found with it. But now it's good, and I definitely am going to be looking forward to improving it further. So again, as usual, if you guys have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below, and maybe I'll definitely test out some other cards that you guys have for suggestions. I do know about Domri Raid and stuff like that. I also just got some more Skrylands for my paper version of this deck, but I'm not going to be buying Domri Raids or anything like that for this MTGO version. I am going to be saving up for my paper version, however, because I do know that Domri Raids would be working really, really well in this deck to keep fueling gas, as well as to have another way to fight creatures. So, and if I can get the ultimate off, that is awesome, awesome, awesome. So, again, thank you guys for watching, and I definitely hope you guys have a great day.